What's up, guys? We're going to be covering 3 cities today for our housing market update. We're going to be covering Washington, D.C., Jacksonville, Florida, and Phoenix, Arizona, so stick around. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Daniel, one half of the Quack Brothers, and as per usual, we're going to be covering 3 cities. I'm going to cover it from the investing and non-investing side. I'm going to give you guys the housing market update for all 3 of these cities. But of course, before we go ahead, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also like this video because we're always looking to push out great content that helps you guys make your decisions on a day-to-day basis. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead with number 1, Washington, D.C., and we're going to start with the non-investors. So let's go ahead to the nation's capital. Median home sale price is $645,000. That is an 11.9% increase year over year. If we're talking number of homes sold the last 12 months, we're looking at 946 homes. That's a 48.5% increase year over year. It's a pretty big increase. Median days on market, 28 days that a home will remain on the market. That is a 20% decrease year over year compared to last year, 2019. Sale to list price ratio, we're looking at 100.6%. That's a 1.1% increase year over year, meaning that if you listed your home for $100,000, more than likely you're going to sell that home for $100,600. So that's an extra $600 in your bank account. Homes sold above the list price, we're looking at 39.2%. Guys, that's a 32.7% increase year over year, meaning that if you have 100 homes listed, 39.2% of them are actually going to be accepted and purchased for a price higher than what it was originally listed. And then the vice versa of that, homes with the price drop, we're looking at 14%. And this was surprising to me. So for the first time, right, of us doing this video, and this is like the 4th or 5th time we're doing these videos with 3 cities, we have an increase in both homes sold above the list price and homes with price drops. So we're at 14%, meaning if you put 100 homes on the market, 14 of those homes will be sold with a price drop. That is a 4.2% increase compared to same time last year. So overall, prices are increasing, homes are being sold faster. No surprise, this is happening in pretty much every greater area, major market in the United States. But this is very interesting because the housing market here in DC is being polarized, right? So we're seeing kind of both directions. If you're looking at homes sold above the list price and homes with price drops, we're seeing both increases and increases on each side. You typically do not see that. Now, granted, homes sold above the list price, they have a significantly higher increase at 32.7% year over year. Would I buy? I'm going to say no, right? Overall grade, I'm going to give it a C. Now, it seems like you can get a bargain, right? So that 4.2% increase year over year in homes with price drop, it tells me that there is wiggle room there. You can get a bargain if you look hard enough. So I'm going to give it overall grade C. Let's look at the same city, Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, for investors. So average rent for Washington, D.C. is $2,219. That's a 0.34% increase year over year, so not that big of a jump in all honesty. Very little jump, if anything. 1 bedroom, $2,023. That's a 4.05% decrease year over year. And for a 2-bedroom, we're looking at $2,701. That's a 3% decrease year over year. Now let's look at the greater area for DC information. We're looking at a 1.6% decrease in rehab and construction for multifamily / apartment complexes compared to last year. So those are year over year numbers. We're seeing a 23% increase, however, in rehab and construction for single family homes year over year compared to last year. So here are my overall thoughts on Washington, D.C. for investing. So rent is stagnant / slowing down, right? It's probably leaning more towards the slowing down side. However, same with rehab and construction, the multifamily and the apartment complex space. Now, single family rentals may work rather well. So if you actually find a single family unit portfolio, right? So a portfolio of single family units that are for rental purposes, which you would underwrite the same as an apartment complex, just make sure you cover the differences. It could be possible, but in my opinion, there's just not enough spread for me to choose that market over, if you're investing nationwide, there's just not enough spread. If you're local, I say go for it, right? Find that single family house portfolio. Would I buy? I'm leaning no, but like I said, if I can find a sweet single family house portfolio with a good enough spread and a good solid business plan, I build a solid team, yes, absolutely go for that 100%. And guys, of course, real estate's always local. It's always about bottom up as opposed to top down. So don't let me discourage you if you're living in Washington, D.C. You know, I heard there's a guy there who lives in a big white house who also loves real estate as well. So overall grade, I would give it a C, right? C for Congress. There you go. Let's move on to Jacksonville, Florida, right? So I'm going to start with non-investors. Median home sale price, $229,000. That's a 9.8% increase year over year compared to last year. Number of homes sold last 12 months, we're looking at 1,643 homes. That's a 10.7% increase year over year. Median days on market, 38 days. That's a 15.6% decrease year over year. Sale to list price ratio, 98.2%. Again, meaning that if you listed a home for $100,000, you're more than likely, based on the numbers and statistics, going to sell it for $98,200. That's a 0.82% increase year over year. Homes sold above the list price, we're looking at 20.9%. That's a 56.9% increase year over year. It's a lot of homes. Homes sold with the price drop, meaning that if you listed a home for $100,000, you're selling it below that $100,000 mark at a discount, 11.7%. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, a 28.9% decrease year over year. So what does that tell me? Well, it tells me the housing market is accelerating very quickly, very fast, right? And with Florida being an attractive market, I would say it's more sustainable than most markets. And for that reason, would I buy? Yes, I actually would. But of course, if you can wait, absolutely do it, right? Especially with a lot of displacements that's going to be happening with the rental market and the eviction moratorium wearing off. Inventory most likely going to skyrocket after certain things post-COVID, which that sounds so sweet right now, post-COVID. I just want to eat at a restaurant, right? I just want Krispy Kreme. Is that too much to ask? All right. So I would say it is attractive. I would buy. I would give it an overall grade B. I would give it a really solid B. And not like almost a B minus, like an 83 or 84%. I would give it like a solid 87% B. Mainly because, again, right, you've got really, really accelerating housing market trends going up. I mean, the 56.9% increase in homes sold above listing price and a 28.9% decrease in homes sold at the price drop. That's crazy, right? It's awesome if you own a home. All right, now let's move on to Jacksonville, Florida. For investors, average rent is $1,287. That's a 4.12% increase year over year. For one bedrooms, you're looking at $1,102. That's a 3.54% increase year over year. For two bedrooms, on average, you're looking at $1,321. That's a 2.73% increase year over year. Now let's look at the greater area info. There's a 3.34% increase in multifamily / apartments when it comes to rehab and construction. So again, not as high as I would have thought. However, this, talking about high, right, watermelon sugar high, 60.3% increase in single family rehab and construction year over year. That is significant, right? 60.3% increase. So again, stable increase in rent. 10.4%, fun fact, 10.4% was the highest the unemployment ever reached, right? You're talking about the unemployment rate. It was 10.4% was the highest unemployment rate has ever been this year for Jacksonville, Florida, which is very impressive considering the nation's number. I mean, where are we at? 34% in unemployment. And it's decreasing very quickly. It's already at 5.1% currently. And I think that 10.4% number was back in May or June, not sure. So again, would I buy? Yes, I actually would. But of course, wait if you can. And I would actually do what's called preliminary moves. So start making preliminary moves. So if you're in Jacksonville or you want to invest in Jacksonville, I would give it 6 months, 9 months, spend that time building your team, raising your capital, building relationships with local banks, real estate attorneys, property managers, brokers, appraisers, inspectors, you name it. I would start making those preliminary moves, right? I mean, start building relationships, get a Florida LLC, start an entity, right? I would start doing that. Overall grade for investing, Jacksonville, Florida, I'm going to give it a B+, right? I'm going to give it a solid B+. Market seems stable with great tenant strength, right? When I say tenant strength, you kind of heard it from that unemployment number. Income is not despairing as much. So I would give it a B+, right? Like an 89% is what I would give. All right, now let's move on. Last but not least, Phoenix, Arizona. right? Home of Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns. Let's start with the non-investors first. Median home sale price, we're looking at $317,000. That's a 15.8% increase year over year. Number of homes sold the last 12 months, we're looking at 2,468. That's a 10.4% increase year over year. Median days on market, 32 days. That's a 17.9% decrease year over year compared to same time last year, 2019. Sale to list price ratio, we're looking at 99.3%. That is a 0.87% increase year over year, which again means that if you listed your home for $100,000, based on the statistics and the numbers, you're going to sell it for $99,300. Homes sold above the list price, we're looking at 33.9%. That is, get this, ladies and gentlemen, 67.9% increase year over year. That is crazy. Homes with a price drop, right? So homes being sold at a discount compared to list price, we're looking at 10.9%. That is a 36.1% decrease year over year. So again, it tells me that the housing market is accelerating extremely fast, arguably the fastest that I've seen ever since we've done these videos. And I think we've done 12 cities now, right? We've done a lot. We've done Seattle, Nashville, Los Angeles, San Diego. In my opinion, this right here, based on the numbers, Phoenix, Arizona, is the fastest accelerating housing market that we've seen. So homes being sold with a price drop and above the list price pretty much implies that the median housing price will go up, right? So do not be surprised if we do the same video, same city a year later, and the median price is in the upper 300s. That would not surprise me at all. Typically, guys, and just for a point, typically when you see homes being sold above the list price increasing year over year, like we do here, 67%, 68%. And you see houses with price drops being sold with a price drop, which in this case is even more extreme with 36.1% decrease compared to last year. You're gonna see an increase in median sale price, right? I mean, that's just 1 + 1 = 2. So housing market, again, accelerating. Now there's a lot of traffic, right? So there's a lot of pros and cons, right? So yes, the prices are increasing. It is a seller's market, I agree. But on the other hand of the spectrum, you have so much traffic coming from places like Illinois, New York, and especially California, obviously because the tax laws, right? Even in Illinois, a lot of business owners, a lot of the wealthy, a lot of the job creators are moving out of my state. I'm considering it. I'm not going to lie to you guys, but a lot of them are moving to Arizona, and sure, rightfully so. They got a lot of business-friendly tax policies, and they have a lower tax rate. So again, expect it. Now, here's where I'm a little confused. Would I buy? I'm not sure. This is the first time I'm going to say I don't know, because on one hand, you don't want to catch a falling knife, right? In case the housing market crash does affect Phoenix in some way, shape, or form, you don't want to buy a real estate property, especially a home, a residential home, when we've seen such a big increase in Phoenix for the last 3-4 years, and you just kind of don't know how high it's going to go. But on the other end of the spectrum, you had a lot of sustainability. It's one of the fastest growing cities in America. I think it's number 5 right now in population. So you got both ends, right? Overall grade, I would give it a solid B, right? Because I'm just kind of in the middle. Yeah, give it a solid B. All right, let's talk about Phoenix for investing, for real estate investing. Average rent, $1,330. That's a 7.22% increase year over year compared to same time last year. 1 bedroom, you're looking at $1,189. That's an 8.66% increase year over year. 2 bedrooms, you're looking at $1,436. 8.7% increase year over year compared to last year. If we're looking at the greater Phoenix area, 45.7% decrease in multifamily and apartment complex rehab and construction. But consider this, guys, do not be alarmed by that number, because the rehab and construction for multifamily and apartment complexes was significantly high last year, especially with lower rates and a lot of these developments kind of coming on. And consider this, guys, Phoenix was an extremely hot market for real estate developers. COVID has completely shut down a lot of development happening around the country. So again, do not be surprised by that 45.7% decrease in number, because it was already huge in 2019, However, we do see a 61.8% increase in single-family rehab and construction. So that is a significant increase in 61.8% for single-family houses. So good news for the people who own homes. because, you know, as much as the supply is being built, right? Typically, sellers don't want to see other homes being built because it saturates and dilutes the price, but it seems we're not having any issues with that, right? The prices continue to go up, it seems. So again, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Okay, so good, solid rental growth, right? Let's talk about actually investing now. Good, solid rental growth. Very popular to the masses, right? It seems like it's a very popular place to move right now, but there's a lot of competition. I cannot tell you the amount of real estate syndications, funds, investors that want to go to Arizona right now. There's a lot of competition. So would I buy? Yes, but only if it's an off-market deal. It has to be an off-market deal where it's one-on-one with me and the seller for me to buy. Overall grade, I'm going to give it a solid B. So again, guys, comment down below what cities you guys want me to cover next. That helps me out tremendous. So again, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our content, right? We really appreciate that. It really gives us encouragement and motivation to keep going. It also helps us with the algorithm so that as many people can enjoy this information as possible. So again, guys, thank you so much. Comment down below what cities you guys want me to cover next. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.